you just make sure that you stop being a nice guy, lad, because the girls, they don't like that.
Yeah, so the nice guy is respectful, supportive, reliable, empathetic, non-aggressive, humble, and self-aware. I'm not saying that every quote-unquote nice guy is going to carry these traits, but these are the specific generic traits that the nice guy has, right? Okay. However, we have the stereotypical nice guy traits. Passive, approval-seeking, entitled, inauthentic, resentful, and lacks boundaries.
Oi!
Now, my question to you, bro.
Go on, bro.
It's actually to both of us. Have you ever been a nice guy?
Wow.
And how has that affected yourself, your personal growth?
Yeah.
Has it affected other people around you?
Yeah.
Yeah, chat to me. Me as well, though. I don't want
This is a therapy session, boy.
We here, man.
We're here.
Welcome
Okay.
to the podcast as well. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. What's happening, guys? Hope you lot are good. We
Can't even lie.
dive right into it, man. We hope you lot are good. This week we're talking about nice guy syndrome. Yeah, and kind of how that manifests itself. But to your question, bro,
I can't wait till we talk about the nice guy in the church syndrome.
we're gonna
get there. We're definitely
gonna get
there's an epidemic right now that is not being spoken about.
Yeah.
Don't
worry.
We'll get there.
You're gonna get some. So welcome back, guys, to the podcast. Quick house rules. Make sure you follow us on social media. At The Point Podcast. On TikTok is at The Point Podcast. And then also make sure that you share this episode with any nice guys in your life. Anybody that you think could do with a little kick up the backside. Yeah, you just make sure that you stop being a nice guy, lad, because the girls, they don't like that.
Also, thank you to that one person that commented on our last episode.
On
Spotify. By the time you hear this, we would have responded. Thank you so much.
We're very grateful. Every comment, like and share. Man. So
thank you.
So bro, to your point on being a nice guy. Do you know what? I've definitely been a nice guy in my past. Do you know what it was? For me growing up, I didn't realize that like being a nice guy doesn't get you far, because when I was raised to be polite, right? So my parents raised me, be polite. When you're speaking to people, be courteous towards them. All of these different kinds of things, right? And then as I got older, I started to see how when you're too nice, because I think there's being respectable and being okay and being a gentleman and all these things, but when you're too nice, you might as well just lie on the floor for people to walk on all over you. That's what happens.
I think that's where you get to the approval seeking area. You're seeking everybody's approval. I'll be real with you. Again, like I said this before we started the pod. I said I was going to be vulnerable. I don't mind, because I think everybody can learn from this, right? I remember I was dating this girl, and she said, I think you require too much reassurance, right?
Yeah, I remember you saying this.
In the sense of being, I'm looking for the approval from her, right?
Okay.
Now, at the time, I didn't like it, but it was important for me to learn that I had picked up a trait that is damaging, right? I'm seeking her approval. We're dating, so of course I want some capacity. But it's like, at that time, when you're not getting enough to assure you that this is actually a thing, because I liked her, right? Of course, I need that additional assurance. But what I should have actually done in that moment is I should have just walked away from it. But I didn't have the backbone to walk away from that situation. Right. I liked her too much. Is that, I didn't have enough self-respect for myself.
For when what? To continue. Oh, so you continued. You should have left. Right.
I should have left.
Yeah.
But I was seeking her approval because I thought, well, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. Right. You should like me. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't. So can we for in terms of like being a nice guy? What would you say is when would you say that you moved into being a nice guy, or did you? Like, were you raised in the same, like, you would have been raised in the same way?
To be polite, courteous to people. Just be a good person.
A good boy.
Be a good boy. Yeah. When did I move into that space?
And what
I think secondary school. You know,
I hear it.
I
hear
think
it.
secondary school
Because
I think. By the way, life is always secondary school. By the way, like when
someone said this, I saw.
Yeah, somebody said this on TikTok, and I was like, yeah. Life is secondary school right now, right? So, yeah, I'd say secondary school because I wasn't one of like the popular kids, right? And so when you're attempting to be one of them, you know, to get all the attention, especially if you're a guy, get attention from the girls as well. You've got to assert yourself in a manner that is pleasing to the public at that time, and so I wanted to be the bad boy, but also nice as well. Charming to the ladies. And I don't think I was actually. I was nothing. I'm not saying that I was bad, but I was nothing. I didn't even know who I was back then.
Who did?
But I tried to be. Yeah, I tried to seek the approval from everybody, from the women, especially. Yeah, I won't lie.
Right. And what did you do? What's like an example of something that you would do to try and seek their approval?
I would just be the opposite of the juvenile delinquents.
Right.
The complete opposite.
And, you know,
and then when that wasn't working, bro, I'll never forget this. When that wasn't working, I small turned into a bad boy. This is when we're prefects. We're prefects, and I remember I got in trouble with Miss Blaney twice. I remember the second time. I will never forget this. Miss Blaney was our head of year, by the way. Yeah. She was like, Afro, this is the second time in a week that you've been to my office. What is going on? That's when I clicked out of it. I was like, what am I doing, bruv? I'm not like these lot.
They can tell the lack of authenticity. Yeah, you're trying to be the bad man. They can tell. They're like, this ain't you.
No, and at that point,
this ain't you, my boy.
And at that point as well, I had a girlfriend. I was wearing my Air Maxes, my Air Max Limited. My T-shirt weren't tucked in. Like I was what? I was a bad boy.
Yeah. You're a bad boy. You're a very bad boy. That thing, like it's funny because I think growing up, I didn't think that being a nice guy was a bad thing. I thought that's what women wanted, or that's what you need to be. You need to be nice, especially for your teachers and stuff. Like you need to be good. You need to be obedient, basically. However, the juvenile delinquents were always the ones getting the most attention. Do you know what I mean? All the guys that in school that were like shotting, or they were
just causing
just fights, all of this stuff. Yeah, those were the ones that were always getting attention. If you were studious, because it wasn't cool to study or to read or to to kind of like be learned. Like it was all about who we fighting after school. Who you gonna
school.
go? What you gonna? Me and them brothers, we're gonna bang. Like they're gonna bang them brothers.
Did I not go and fight as well?
Did you go and fight?
I went to go and fight. Bro. I went to go and fight. Like I'll tell the story very quickly, right?
Yeah.
It's me and Victor. Shout out Victor, right?
Big band. Victor.
So me and Victor, we're getting home. We're the good boys. We're getting home, right? Then we see the lads like across the street. Hey, you man, we have to go and fight so and so school in so and so town centre.
What? Come there,
bro. I'm the one that's always been known. I avoid fights. I don't like confrontation. I don't like fighting. You ain't gonna see me fighting. I don't like fighting at all, right? But for some reason, I'm on it. I'm on it. And the Victor's like, bro, what are you doing? Let's go home. And he only came to protect me. He gets banged in the face, though. I don't.
I remember that. I remember that. Victor, and everyone was like, Victor, they banged Victor in the face.
They banged Victor. They banged Victor, boy. He was the only one that got caught as well.
Only one. And that's what happens when you follow your friends to do things.
You see? So we got there, and before we got there, we're on the bus, and I just realized the school we're about to fight is an all-boys school. We're a mixed school. So there's going to be more of them. There's going to be more of them. We get to the town centre. Oh, they surrounded us. Surrounded us. Look, cut the story short. Somebody got glassed in our year, from our school. Somebody got glassed. Victor got punched.
Hey.
Bang in the face. Don't be a bad boy. What am I doing?
These stories will just make you want to send your kids to private school, because that is insane work. Imagine sending your kid to school and they get glassed. You what, mate?
With our glass, by the way.
What?
We're the ones that found the glass.
And then they took it.
They took it and they glassed, man.
Jesus. Jesus. See, this is why, like, the thing is, when you're not when you're a nice guy, you get to avoid these things like fights and conflicts, right? But the opposite thing that happens is that it's like you avoid the risk and the reward.
Yeah.
Like as a nice guy, your life kind of just looks like this.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're the non-nice guy or the bad boy or whatever, you might have troughs where it's like you get into a fight, you get glassed or whatever, but you also get the glory because you get like everybody talks about you, everyone wants to be around you.
But the problem with being a nice guy, bro, is that there are many pathways that you can go down. And one of them that I think this is the term that I was gonna say the kids, but it's our generation. Pick-me's. The pick-me's, the simps, right? Yeah. With no objective thought, they agree with one side of the argument all the time, so that they can gain the approval of the group of people that they desire. Right. So it's whatever they say is always correct. I have no objective thought. There's no perspective on it. It's just that. All
right. Let me put it like this thing. Yeah. Would you say in your life you've ever been a pick-me?
Nah, I actually don't think I have.
Okay.
I don't think I have. Have you?
Do you know what? I don't know. You know, because I'm thinking about it, yeah. Because I'm somebody who's quite understanding of people, yeah, and like I will always give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, have I done that in a kind of like pick me way? Do you know what? I remember, let me tell you this, yeah. I remember this. I remember being in secondary school, and I remember Ozzy said one time, yeah, she was like, you know Michael, man, Michael's the kind of guy that you marry and you bring him to your parents kind of thing, yeah. And I must have been in like year 8, 9 or something.
Loved it,
yeah, I loved it. And they were like, yeah, she said that, and I thought to myself, so that means I'm different to these guys. I'm different, right? But the thing is, when does marriage happen, guys? Marriage tends to happen in your like late 20s, or mid 30s, early 30s, whatever. Yeah. During that process of being in year 9 to mid 30s, that's a long way to go. That's 15 plus years, my boy. Yeah. In that time, they are going for the juvenile delinquents.
Yeah.
Delinquents. The way I said it. They're going for the juvenile delinquents. So when you end up being this like marriageable guy, or not even if you don't want marriage yet, but you end up being the standout guy, you're the stand-up step up. We don't expect you to do all the things, you can get locked into a sort of pick-me-ism,
because you want to be picked. And the funny thing is, bro, is that things don't even change as you get older.
You think by being that way is what you're thinking, that's what will get you picked.
She won't even bat an eyelid at you, bro.
Like, sorry, I cut your point. Go on.
No, so one thing I've noticed is that, like I said earlier, that we're still in secondary school, right? Things haven't changed. What has happened is that perspective has changed. Maturity has now been adopted, right? But the notion of how things work have not changed.
No.
So, for example, right? You've received all these compliments about being such a great guy in secondary school, and you feel, okay, cool, I'm going to continue to be this way, right?
Talk
now,
on it.
The girls have matured. They've matured, right? They don't necessarily want that bad boy, the definition of bad boy then. But they still want the badness.
100.
They still want the badness, but now the badness is a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
The badness wears a black turtleneck.
Yeah.
The badness probably works at Canary Wharf.
Right. Instead of shotting donuts, man's now in the badness is like in his career. Like in his,
Do you get what I'm saying? And then what's happened?
He's got the whip. He's got all the things.
He's got the whip. And what's happened is that the pick-me's still think that they're cream of the crop, right? They think they're cream of the crop, right? And so they think that, okay, through every serious conversation in which we're having, when it comes to women, they're just going to be on that side because they think, I'm gonna get the pumps. I'm gonna get it. When in actual fact,
Good.
She's still with Sean.
Cool.
She's with Sean. Cool. She's with Kunle. She's with that man.
Kunle.
Like you.
Brother Kunle.
She don't like you.
There was one brother.
Jermaine.
Brother, why they always call them names as well? Jermaine. Like, I feel like if your parents, if your parent calls you Jermaine, they're writing a self-fulfilling prophecy, man. They want you to be that guy. Your name's Jermaine, bro. I never met a pick me Jermaine before, bro. You're gonna be that brother. Do you know what I'm saying? So, bro, it's so funny you said that, yeah? There was that guy at my uni, his name was Kunle, bro. This guy, I'm sure he was banging F at uni. And I used to see him, I was like, brother Kunle, what's going on, yeah? What's happening? Bro, all the girls flocking him. Because he's banging F. Whereas the good marriageable guy, you won't ever bang F because your mum would be upset with you, and you need to be good and all of these things. And that's why I think the nice guy is so unlucky, because the nice guy, to the definition you gave earlier, there's a passivity that you end up kind of operating in, where it's gonna come to me because I am this. Can you imagine? Hey, oh man, mad up here, dinner. Make sure you don't like take in there. Marriageable, whatever the word is. Yeah, mind you, they're going for everything else but that.
Yep. And then, do you know what ends up happening to that nice guy?
What happens?
They start developing entitled traits, the trait of being entitled, and also they lack boundaries. They will say yes to everything.
True.
Because the girl's like, oh, I need your help with this.
Yeah.
Oh, can you help me with that? Oh, I've got like this gallery opening, and I can't pay anybody to help me. I was wondering if you could help me volunteer. I know I said gallery. This is not specific to anybody. I just made it up in my head. But anyways, it's like, I swear to you. I swear to you. It's like, good. I've got like this art exhibition. Can you like help me, please? Like,
and you will now run there. You will run there to Let me help.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, I'm closer.
Yeah,
she's gonna love me. She's not gonna love you, bro.
Is the nice guy the same as the good guy?
Ooh, no.
Okay.
No.
What do you think the difference is?
The good guy is aware of who he is. The good guy has boundaries. The good guy doesn't take nonsense from people. The nice guy is a simp. The nice guy is kind of pathetic. The nice guy wants everybody to like them and cannot accept when somebody doesn't.
Damn.
That's the difference.
Okay. So,
and I think I have been a nice guy in some capacity. Yeah, I know I said earlier that I haven't, but I think I have.
There's definitely been ebbs and flows of nice guy. It's like I think. Do you know what it is with the nice guy? Yeah, he's not authentic to himself. So he's not that boundaries word that you use. He's not authentic to himself, and he looks at he wants everybody to like him because he has no internal like for himself. So when you have that, or when you're constantly viewing yourself based on how other people, you would like other people to perceive you, that's what makes you a nice guy.
Yeah.
Whereas I found, and I think in working culture, this kind of taught me this, is that, like sometimes, especially when you're in the younger kind of ranks or analyst ranks at work or whatever, and everybody wants you to do everything. Like, can you do this for me? And then your manager wants you to do this, and so another stakeholder wants you to do that. Yes. And at first you're just like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, you do it. Yeah. Because we're taught that to look successful is to be able to manage all of these things at once, right? But then I actually found that the respect was garnered for me when I would tell people, no, I can't do that right now. You're going to have to wait this time. No, I can't do that. And this is such a key thing, because I don't know if it's my algorithm, but a lot of what's been coming up lately for me is this whole word of no, and saying no, and how important that is. And even biblically, there's that scripture that says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything further comes from the devil.
Yeah,
that's what the Bible says.
Faff.
No more faff. You don't need to come up with an excuse. You don't need to say, because sometimes I've heard people say, no is a complete sentence within itself. Personally, I don't think it is. I think that's kind of rude. Like, to be like, someone's like, would you like to come to my gathering tonight? No.
Come on, P-E-E.
Yeah. P-E-E. P-E-E. Where is it? Like, you can't just say, no, it's a complete sentence. No, the hell it ain't. It's not a complete sentence. You need to tell me why, or you need to come up with a thing. Comprehension. Where is it?
Imagine somebody just, no.
Yeah, no. Even then you said yes. Like, imagine like saying, what is it? I thought, do you want to come? I'm having do you know, we're linking up on a Wednesday. What are you saying? You down?
No.
That's rude.
No.
Do you get it?
But yeah, it is
rude.
Sometimes it means
no, it's a complete sentence.
No,
because no. Do you know what? Thanks for the invite, but no, I'm gonna miss out on this one.
Yeah.
That's it. That is to me.
Actually, that's enough. Yeah,
that's enough.
That's enough.
I'm gonna miss out on
Don't
this
really
one.
need to give too much of an explanation.
Nah, boundaries.
Or you could just say, I've got a few things going on that clashes with this time. I can't make it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't make this one. That's it. And then, Yeah, but that whole idea of saying no more, I feel like it's as I've gotten into my 30s now, bro. That's where no is being used a lot more. Before in my 20s, bro, I was saying yes to everything.
To everything.
Oh, you want to come to this, Mike?
Yeah.
Yes. I want to come to this. Yes, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down.
One time my brother said to me, he was like, "Fam, what's wrong with you? You go to someone's opening of a letter. Like, you go to everything, bro. Like, you go to everything, fam. Like, can't you just chill?" And when my brother's 13 years older than me, yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm in my 20s. Man's in his late 30s, so he's already in that mindset of, no, I ain't going to that.
Yeah.
Whereas in my 20s, I'm like, no, I'm going. I've got this baby shower. I've got this christening. I've got that. I'll go. You get to your 30s, you're like, nah, man. Nah, do you know what? Nah, you know.
Nah, I'm
all right. I'm actually good. And I think once the nice guy learns to say no, that's when he starts to solo level up.
Come on.
If you know, you know.
Anime fans,
you know.
When do you think you got to that point in which you started saying no?
Yeah. When did I start saying no? I think, to be honest, once I hit my 30s, I started using that more. I started.
Was it any like particular incident? I'm sure you can't pinpoint it to that degree, but is there anything in your late 20s that made you say, do you know what? No. Like I'm not down for this.
Do you know what was happening? There were a series of various, like, you know, things I would be doing, whether it's like socially going out or you know, having conversations with certain people and different dynamics. And I remember I would have this kind of like internal sort of thermometer, maybe call it the gut feeling, where I would come away and I'm like, you know what, I feel more drained after that being around that person, or I feel more, why did I go to that? You know, there's times I'll call you, I'm like, bro, why am I at this event? Why would I? And you'd be like, bro, like, but there was a certain level of, no, I need to show up to be there.
I think those familiarity.
You said that word. Familiarity. No, God.
That word is a struggle.
Familiarity.
Yeah, there's a familiarity.
There's a familiar reality. There's a familiar reality where
there's a this thing.
There's a this thing. Yeah, I thought it's so cock Nigerian. I don't think people realize. I thought he's cock Nigerian, guys. He grew up here, but he's cock. Yeah.
There's a this thing when it comes to being around people that you're familiar with.
So I
can say that one.
Go ahead.
So I think it's easy to want to maintain that relationship because sometimes it's hard to let go, you know, something that you built for such a long time, a bond that you felt that was there, and so you want to keep up. It's not your fault. It's just it's manners. To be fair, it's manners.
Bro, can we talk about that? Manners, and that's one of the key things. Obviously, growing up, my teacher like manners. You need to have manners towards people and all of that.
Some people just walk away from friendships and no explanation. I'm like, what is happening here? Where are your manners,
bro? Do you know
we can't even have a closure conversation? Like, are we not mature? Something
peak.
Like, how old are we? People are just leaving. You abandoned me.
Bro. You know, I heard it. So someone said on YouTube the other day, and I don't know if it was Elon Musk that does this, but someone said to do it, yeah? If you're not enjoying a conversation with someone, just walk away.
No, I don't agree with that.
I just think that's madness.
I think that's rubbish, bro.
That's rude.
Like, somebody's talking.
Like, you're talking to someone and then you're not interested. You just...
Huh? And you just walk away.
Wait, do it again. So look.
Mid-sentence. Yeah, I don't really want to talk. And then when they say, hey, come back. Nah, me and you, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, how can you do that? I think that's rude, man.
Imagine, let's say maybe a few months or a few years have gone by. Yeah. You guys bump into, I don't know, an event or a wedding because you got mutuals, right? Oh, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I was like, you think I can never talk to you again? Can't do that to me.
You can't do that to people. Sometimes this internet, it takes things too far, man.
Bro. How can you even say that? What kind of no manners?
No
bro.
manners. That's rude.
Manners, man.
Because we're like, especially black kids, yeah, we are socialized to have manners towards people a lot of the time, and I think if you will just end up have it like overextending yourself. So to your question, so I know I'm going about this around things, but there were certain interactions I was having, and I was thinking, you know what? Nah, this ain't feeding me anymore, man. And then also you start to realize, I don't know, as you get older, you just become more confident in your in the way you see life and how you are.
Yeah.
You become a bit more self-assured.
Yeah.
And so there'll just be certain things I'm like, I don't want to go to that.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to go. And someone said it once. I heard this said. They said, if you avoid like the discomfort, trying to make other people uncomfortable, the discomfort will sit with you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are like, I'm happy to make you uncomfortable. I know you really want me to come to a particular thing, but I can't make it. That makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I sleep well at night, and that's what matters to me, because I know if the shoe was on the other foot, you would do the same to me.
But the thing is, is that their uncomfortability is temporary.
Very much so.
You, it's going to sit with you for ages if you don't take that decision.
Yep, facts.
For them, they'll just have to resonate with what's happened, take it in, and then move on with their lives.
Yeah.
It's temporary.
Yeah.
For you, it will always be there until you make a decision.
Facts. Do you know what the nice guy does as well? The nice guy tries to preempt how others are going to feel based on what he's doing before he does it.
Yep.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So he manufactures himself to appease. I definitely used to do that. Definitely used to do that.
Because you've made that assumption, oh, well, if I do it this way, then they're not going to be happy with me. So I have to like intercept the timeline of life. Let me fix it before it,
bro.
Come on, man,
bro.
Doing way too much. Way too much. I think what that leads to as well. It's funny because this list that I have, I think it's all very much interconnected. I think when you attempt to people please and make people happy, you now feel entitled, right? And I feel like it's like you deserve a reward. I've done this thing for you, or I've been so nice to you. I deserve a reward. And like, trigger warning, this is something that I've kind of noticed, or not noticed, is very prominent, right? Within incels and people who are entitled to like women, right? They feel entitled to women because, well, I bought you a drink. Give me your number. No, you bought her a drink. You chose to buy her a drink. You can't now just expect her to give you a number. You haven't even spoken to her in any manner in which she is appealing to her, or she may just not want to give you her number. So there's an entitlement that the nice guy can build up as well. One thing that I noticed when I was on, and again, another trigger warning, one thing I noticed when I was on Twitter, especially during 2020, during the pandemic, there was a list that came out, and one of them, man, I know about one of them. It's not the person that you know. It's another one that I know, right? There's one guy that was on that list, perceived as a great person.
Schindler's List, boy.
That list, boy.
That list.
Perceived as a great person. Come to find out, I can't even get too personal because, I can't even get too personal. But come to find out, not a nice guy whatsoever. Because he had built up an entitlement, right? And you can't. Here's the thing, men gotta go back to fathering their sons. Go back to fathering your sons, man. You think you could just throw them in school and think education is everything? But they're building up these toxic traits that might land them in hot water. Father your sons.
You're not lying still. You're not lying. You know that list here. I mean, even there's someone else that you don't know that I know who's also was on that list. It's not that guy.
It's not that guy. Oh my god.
It's not the one that you know that I know of.
Yeah.
But on this list there was a brother, fam, educated. Man had all the accolades, all the people person, friendly, everybody, popular. Fam, he was on that list.
Boy.
And I was speaking to someone that I knew who knew him, and they were like, fam, like we were so shocked at the fact that he was on this list. And this is why I just think, man, it's dangerous. Sorry, I'm just thinking about it. That was dangerous, boy. That list is peak.
Yeah, very.
That list was very peak. So why do you think then, that the nice guy is unlucky?
Oof.
Why? If you are technically, if we look at it this way, if you are being nice, you're being courteous, you're being polite, you're doing the things that people want you to do. Why does that equal lack of luck and lack of ladies?
Lack of ladies. I think sometimes you're in a circle in which you're unwanted, and sometimes you got to move away. But I think people get too comfortable in a particular space, and they don't make the changes for themselves to be in a place in which they're appreciated for just being themselves and not being an inauthentic version of themselves.
So vibes don't lie, basically. People can tell that your vibes are off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you can't put it on. You are who you are, and everybody will know who you are.
And everyone can tell.
And everyone can tell.
I have a slightly different theory.
Gone.
Make sure this camera's working. I have a slightly different theory. I think the reason why the nice guy is unlucky, is because I think within the human psyche, there's an element of wanting what we can't get.
Okay.
Or not what we can't get, or desiring something that we don't currently have.
Okay.
Yeah? So when you're a nice guy and you're giving someone everything that they want, you're not scratching that itch of theirs of kind of like, I need something. You're giving me everything, so it's like, well, what else is there for me to desire? Does that make sense?
Oh, I got you.
So basically, detachment.
You got to keep things to
100,
yourself.
which is the boundary.
Right.
Which is the boundary now.
Yes,
yeah. So
yes.
when I just think in human psychology, when you kind of like give people a little, like you give them breadcrumbs, then they'll come following.
Yeah.
Whereas, and this is not some weird like toxic thing, but I just mean in general in life, if you give people breadcrumbs, they will eventually want to buy the loaf of bread. Whereas if you just give the loaf of bread off of the bat, like there's nothing more to want. That's why I think they don't work for it. Like detachment a little bit.
Do you know what I'm thinking of? Our friend, right? Our friend, he went on. He was with this girl.
Okay.
Short period of time, right?
Okay.
But when he'd asked her to be he asked her to be his boy, is it boy, his boy? Right?
He asked her to be his girlfriend. What the hell y'all take?
He had asked her.
He wants her to be his girl.
To be his girl, right? He wanted her to be his girl, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not gonna mention the name, but like,
I'm trying to think of who it is.
Set up everything, set up the whole thing, the whole date. Had a present ready with a. I don't want to bait it. With a personalized gift, right?
Damn.
Very personalized gift, right?
Who's this?
God. Gave her everything. Very extravagant. Nothing wrong with it. I hear it, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to your point in which you're giving it all and you're not keeping things. You're not setting those boundaries. You're just doing. It wasn't doing the most, but I think when it comes to women, it differs, right? But I think in this moment, and I think he probably said the same thing. He was doing a bit too much at that moment, at that time, right? Because things were quick as well. It all happened very quickly,
right?
What is it? 2-3 weeks later, that thing was over.
Sorry, boy.
That thing was over.
Sorry.
I'll tell you it was off mic because I can't.
I'm really trying to think who that was. Obviously, we don't want to bait up anybody's spot.
I don't want to bait up anybody's spot.
Okay.
Right? And it was like, when I think about that, it's not that he's not a wise person. It's not that he doesn't have experience in when it comes to women, and he's very mature, sets his boundaries. But sometimes you can just fall back into not old habits or just pick up old traits, and then all of a sudden, now you're being taken advantage of.
Yeah, because you know what? It's a thin line. It's so hard to decipher this thing, you know, because it's quite a thin line.
Because naturally, I just want to dive into the pool, bro.
Absolutely.
I want to dive in. Like,
absolutely.
That's the way that I'm.
You don't want to be
set
thinking
up.
that, I need to hold back this to do this. And you don't want to be doing the mechanics in your brain.
Yeah. But I think sometimes you have to build a level of respect. Because we're talking to men here.
That's what it is.
I think you need to build a level of respect. And I think when you don't do that, it's easy for you to dive into that nice guy area and pick up those characteristics.
Right.
You've got to be. You have to respect yourself. You have to.
So I think one of the things that like recovering nice guys can do sometimes is they end up going
recovering nice guy.
The recovery,
anonymous nice guy,
aka incel, Basically, what those men end up doing, is they end up going completely the opposite direction, to kind of recompense. I don't know if that's the word, for what they've done previously. So they end up being in scenarios where they're forcibly trying to be rude now to women, or they're forcibly trying to be rude to people because they're trying to make up for their past. Now, this is why I asked the question earlier about the nice guy versus the good guy, because I think the guy who tries to go too far to the opposite direction ends up just becoming like you're just not a likable character. And I think in my experience, I've seen people who have done all right, you know what? I've clocked, I've been too nice. I'm going to go the opposite way. And it works for them for a little while. Because remember, the bad boy thing still reigns supreme for a lot of people. Yeah, no Diddy, do you know what I'm saying? It reigns supreme. However, there is a point where it combusts. So you end up being like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the bad man now. Yeah, I'm going to be like this. I'm going to talk like this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to be this way. And I'm going to be rude. And it might get you loads of results. But when it comes to, all right, cool, you want something, I feel like it crashes and burns.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like Love Island, yeah? And I'm thinking of the different characters in the villa. Some of the man...
My guy, because, sorry, I haven't been keeping up with Love Island yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch up, yeah?
Yeah.
What my guy that said he slept with 5 women?
Yeah, Ramel.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He thought for 2 reasons he said that. TV, he'll be remembered for saying that.
Yeah, he will.
And then the second reason, I think he thought, that's a good bar, you know. They might like me for the fact that I said that.
Yeah. Real. And then you had one, I can't remember the other guy's name, but and then there was one point where Ramel said, bro, like if you look at like the last 20 girls I've spoken to, and then one brother was like, 20? Like 20 girls, like what's going on, man?
20 girls.
And this is what I'm saying. These man, I shout out Ramel, you know, you're doing your thing, bro. Like obviously, man, you got to play the fame game or the influencer game.
Yeah.
But maybe it was nerves. But also, we know that Ramel is a guy who's in the gym and doing all of this training, but comes from that kind of overlooked fat boy thing.
You think so?
Bro, man.
Have you seen his before pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, so
he shows
was
it on his TikToks.
Oh,
and
so
stuff.
he was a fat boy.
Yeah, he's like recovering fat boy. This all kind of feeds into the nice guy thing.
Let me tell you this,
yeah.
Me as a recovering fat boy as well.
Thank
goodness I didn't end up like a lot of these man. Yeah. The recovering fat boy and the church boys, they twinning him. They twinning them. They twinning them.
They are twinning them for real. Do you know what it is? It's almost like the fatter you are, the more supple you are. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you're so jiggly. You're just supple, bruv.
Stick
like,
that man in the oven, yeah.
Brother.
That's going to come out great.
That man just
you know he comes out for Christmas.
Yeah, bruv. Man, jiggly, bro. Like, just pause. Like, do you know what I mean, fam? Man, like your personality, that's why you need to be in gym so you can get that stern like back, like have your back straight in your back, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just bare wimpy and like jigglypuff, moving like a jigglypuff, rude boy. Yeah, me. But when you're a recovering fat boy, yeah. That's what I was talking about on my TikToks. When you're a recovering little fat boy, the fat boy never dies, guys. The chest might grow. The arms might get bigger. The fat boy inside, he never dies. So do you know what he has to say? If you look at the last 20 girls that I spoke to,
because
you look at the last 20 girls.
I'm like you, man, now, innit?
Yeah, I'm one of you, man.
I slept with 20
I slept with 5 in one night.
Yeah, it's 5 in one night, yeah.
That's
chlamydia. It burns. Full. 5:20. What are we talking about here?
Bro, wait. That one didn't last for me yet. Man, chlamydia. Chlamydia, you know. And you know what's so mad? All of the girls weren't turned on by that.
Of course they wouldn't be. It's yucky.
It was like, what are you doing?
He's doing too much.
This is what I'm saying. You end up going too far, the opposite side. That's why you have to. And I'm not saying that he ain't done. Obviously, if you do your thing, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Did he say 5 in one night?
In one night.
That's not possible. Man, if you know, you know. There's no way. There's no way.
Remember, man, them are using honey packs these days, bro.
That's true.
Unless you're using honey pack.
Yeah. You have to be using. Honey pack and grip socks?
What's what?
They wear the grip socks.
Oh! You what? Yeah. Bro,
Bro,
you know what? Yeah, I just pictured my grip socks in my wardrobe now, bruv. I was like, hey, how do you pack some grip socks? Is that's the method? Yeah,
that's the thing. That's grip
the
sock.
That's the 5 a night method. Madness. That should. You need to put that in an ebook or something, bruv. Like, you need to sell that. You need to sell that ish, fam. So he could have been that. So it's possible. I thought it said possible.
Possible, bro.
It's not
5. No.
But this is why the nice guy, you have like, because women, I think as they get older, I think they do want a nice guy. I think that phase of them not wanting a nice guy is only when they're younger. Or good guy.
I think they want a good guy.
The
nice guys are not. They're not people that you want to be around because they become, like I said earlier, they become entitled to you as well. They think because they've done all these things that like me, want me.
I'm still thinking about grip socks. Bro, mine have got like black. They got like a black thing underneath.
The black squares.
Black squares.
Yep. Now you're thinking about it.
Can't move. That ain't moving.
Yeah, that ain't moving.
That ain't moving. That ain't moving for real. There's no slipping and sliding. It's done. That's a stay put.
Did you hear that? No slipping and sliding.
No slipping and sliding. So yeah.
What were we saying?
Sorry. We just got sidetracked there. We sidetracked. But no, I was basically saying, like, if you use Love Island as an example, yeah, you've got the different kinds of guys who, the nice guys versus the.
Do you know who I consider a good guy? And again, I don't know him like that, but like we can use Love Island as an example. Yeah. Yeah. Ovi. Like,
yes,
he knew his boundaries. Yes. Right? He was a good person. Yeah. Right? But when he got disrespected, he just said, all right, cool. He told Jordan, is like, hey, go have Anna. Or is that
Yeah. I remember that.
Go and have her.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, like, he respects himself. Right. Whereas the nice guy's I'm gonna fight for her love. Like, brother, she don't like you. She already left you for another man. Yeah. It is best for you to just walk away from this situation.
So and you know what's funny? Look at all the girls that love Ovi.
Yeah.
And he was the good guy.
He was a good guy. So I'm saying
he actually, even because he was on Chizzo and that man's thing.
Has he been on it?
Yeah, he's been on it. And when you watch, like, he's actually that way. He's not acting up for the media. Like he is literally that way every time. But people don't compute it because it's like, but how you got all these girls after you, bro? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Interesting. So the good guy is the happy way. Medium.
What would you say about the good guy? No, the nice guy in church, bro. What would you say about that? Because remember, we said we'll come back to it. We're here now.
Here it goes.
I think the nice guy sits on a religious complexity that has created a facade of who they think they are supposed to be approved by women spiritually, but not physically, because them man are fat. I didn't even need to add that part because that's not necessarily true. But I just wanted to say that
you're fat. You're fat. Okay.
But there is that religious complexity that is within the church, bro, and a lot of, like I said earlier as well, fathers, dads, father your children, your sons, right? Especially if you're in the church here. The bar's very low, if I'm being quite honest. All you need to know is scripture, right? Yeah. Once you know scripture and then you don't develop any other parts of your personality, right? Again, you can fall into that nice guy area, that space, and you build up an entitlement because, well, I gave you scripture. Now give me bumps. It's true.
Right, I remember that. You know, that's
I gave you scripture. Now give me some. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, don't tell anybody. You know, I'm getting flashbacks to one Bible study that I had one time. Anyway, let me stop. Yeah, boy. Okay, deep in that word, boy. No, I'm joking. But I don't know why I said that. So at least, to nice guys in church, I personally, in my experience of nice guys in church, I think the biggest element is the passivity element that we talked about earlier. In the beginning, I think nice guys in church, naturally, if you think about it, religious settings, you're kind of like handout waiting to receive something.
Yep.
So, oh God, pause.
I was gonna say something crazy, but we ain't gonna say it.
What was you gonna say?
You go get this dick. That's what you gonna receive.
I said, that's what I said. Let me let you say it, boy, because I do need to get that out.
Let me put this Holy Spirit in
Right?
you.
Oh my God! That's for laughing.
And I'm not muting any of this. I'm not bleeping any of this.
Shouting.
This is staying here. This is real.
It is real. It is real. The views of Afro are reflected on him alone, and not the point establishment. Way.
That's right.
Nah, but the thing, you're like your hands are out, ready to receive something from God. Yeah. So I think it can then set you up to be in a position where you don't go for the thing that you want. So because you're waiting for God. Like I've had conversations with people where it's like, oh, God when. It's like, stop all of that God when, and how about you go for it? Take God with you, but you go for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a thin line, and I think in church as well, I think a lot of guys are passive because I can't lie.
Sorry, I can't stop laughing. This episode has got me, man.
There's bare to say. I think church is just one of them spaces where man them also feel like they don't want to be predatorial.
Yeah.
Because it's a space, it's a sacred space,
Yeah.
it's a sanctimonious space,
Yeah.
it's a space where like holy
It's
things
a thin
are
line.
happening. It's a thin line. So you're kind of, and think about it. The church is always telling you, kill the flesh, kill the flesh, kill the flesh. If you're looking to draw someone or you're moving to someone, you're really like, it's about the flesh in a way. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't see your spirit, darling.
Like I wouldn't even lie. Like I'll say this on the pod. If she ever hears it, she hears it, right? Because she doesn't even know who she is, right? So
I know who she is.
Yeah, because you know what I'm about to say. There's one babe at my church, Lang. But I haven't even spoken to her yet.
And why? And why?
For two reasons.
Yeah.
But for the first reason, I'm not afraid to go and talk to anybody, right? I'm not afraid. But like, there is that perception at the back of my mind, like, how do I do this, right? Because we're in church here. How do I do this? I could just talk to her on a friendly tip. I would, because that's how I would start it. But let's say that I want to progress things, right? How does man do that? Because I know how I normally do it, You know how I do it. Yeah.
What's the thing I see on socials? You have to go up to them and say, oh, like, the lamb's bear worthy and that.
Worthy is the lamb.
Worthy is the lamb and that. The lamb's bear worthy. Yeah, the lamb's bear worthy and that still. The lamb's bear worthy and that still. Like, what?
Worthy, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Like, you have to say all of that. Like, the lamb's bear worthy. Fam, it's one of the ones, I want to ask, do you think like this whole Me Too movement and all of that,
Yeah.
with all respect due to it.
With all due respect,
do you think that has kind of also
scared a lot of men?
Yeah.
Yes.
From
100%.
being more intentional.
Yes, I think so. I think so because they are unable to tell where the boundaries lie. Because what you don't want to do, like even just approaching women in public. Like, when was the last time any of us did that?
Yeah.
Let's say that the babe is across the road. You will never, most likely, you will never ever see her again. You think she's beautiful. You want to at least, man, let me go chat to her. Can't do that.
They won't do it.
You won't do it. And I don't blame them, but at the same time, these are the consequences that come with, taking advantage of your position and your power, you know, and misleading and mistreating women. Yeah. This is what happens.
Because remember, we used to talk about it. We used to call it, what did we used to call it? Was it spiritual castration? Is that what we called it?
I don't know if we called it that.
I don't know if we called it that. We called it like psychological castration.
It's definitely castration of some kind.
Castration of some sort.
Yeah.
And I remember, this is back in some of our old episodes, when me and Enoch used to talk about it, we say, again, because the church and the Bible and everything is encouraging you to kill your flesh, there's almost an abhorring that you have for your physical flesh. So, which is why I think, we're kind of going off topic, but I will carry it back to this, I think a lot of Christians can sometimes negate their physical reality. So they don't go in the gym and lose weight because well, the Bible says that fitness is of some use, but training in righteousness is of eternal use, right? That's a scripture. I think it's First Timothy or somewhere. So now you can kind of psychologically take that as fitness is of some use. It's not the most use. So if I spend that time in the gym, remember that sound that was going around on TikTok where the pastor was like, "Some of you are spending so much time. You have big chests, but who's gonna hire you for big chests?" All of that kind of like nonsense, absolute complete nonsense here and dogma. Yeah, when you're killing the flesh, deny yourself, all of these things. How can you on one side of your brain be denying yourself, killing your flesh, and taking these scriptures out of context in what they're supposed to be meaning, but simultaneously your flesh is fighting you and you're desiring to lie down, have sex, get fit, all of these things. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a psychological.
Do you know what it is? It's a physiological incompatibility.
Are you hearing it? Did you hear him? Say it again for them.
It's a physiological
incompatibility. If you're not writing notes, you people, you should be writing notes. You should be behind that screen doing.
We the pastors.
We the pastors now. Yeah, don't worry. The Patreon, the money's coming.
But no, that's the Patreon. The Patreon's coming. The Patreon's coming. But we're gonna talk about
Venmo me.
We're gonna talk about that off mic.
But,
it really is, because I think you have to find a balance, right? Yeah. In your priorities. The fact that, okay, cool, if I'm gonna concentrate so much on my spiritual growth, and understanding scripture and theology, and I spend all my time, I've gone to get a degree for it as well, right? Cool, I've got the degree for it, but I'm a scumbag. Like, I'm really and truly a scumbag. Yeah. There's no application of the word. I just know the word.
just know it. Yeah.
I just know it. So now I'm a piece of crap. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what you build up. But then, because you are aware of scripture and because you believe that you follow it, like I said, it breeds that entitlement. And so now you just think. And the thing is, is that even the women in the church can be naive to it as well, because they just think, a man that knows scripture, a great person. Whereas we know their man now, they're married. The man is rubbish. Whatless guy.
Whatless, brother.
Cool. He knows
have the wife.
Terrible person.
Have the wife, and let me tell you something. The wife have him because also the wife she likes the fact that he's a bad guy, because it keeps her on her like mental
foolish girl. Foolish girl.
Well.
So I think again there's a balance that needs to be mastered on both sides. I think that's very important, but also I think it's important for women to be aware of character development. Right, in the church, like don't just admire the man because of what he says. What are his fruits?
Key.
You'll
know them by their fruits,
darling.
You know them by their fruits. You know what, as well, it's funny because even sometimes you could even argue that the way love is spoken about in the church, it can be very like romanticized.
Yes.
And it can be very just romantic and lovey-dovey, etc.
Yeah.
But even Jesus himself in the Bible, like, he runs away from people, bro. People are chasing him like, can you heal us? Can you heal us? And he's running in the opposite direction. That's someone who knows his boundaries. That's someone who says no. That's somebody who's not a people pleaser. That's somebody who, like, Jesus is the kind of brother who, there was I think she was Canaanite woman, she's referred to, but basically was like she's from a tribe where they're lesser than the rest, right? And she comes to Jesus asking for food, or she comes to him for healing. And he says,
"What, girl with a blood problem?"
No, that's a different one. Okay. So this Canaanite woman, and I'm loosely remembering the story, but essentially she asks him for healing, and he says that, of your people of your kind are not worthy to be at the master's table, right? Something to that effect. I don't know if that's exactly what he says. Something to that effect. And she said, yes, but even dogs eat from the master's table. And so she's referring to herself as a dog, right? She's saying that, it sounds very self-deprecating, but she's saying that she's acknowledging her position tribally in that thing. Yeah. And then Jesus heals her and is amazed by her faith or he gave her what she wanted, because she's like, yeah, but even dogs eat from the master's table, right? But one reason why I'm giving that story is because this is Jesus. This is the one that we say, yeah, Jesus can do it. You're gonna be, yes, Jesus loves us and all of this stuff. The brother said, yo, you're not even supposed to come to the master's table. Do you get it? Like, you're not even supposed to be here. And she said, yeah, but even dogs eat from it. So she combated him, and he was like, all right, do you know what? Bam.
All right, you got me.
You got me. The woman with the issue of blood, Jesus was passing through the town. Jesus don't business. Jesus don't business, you know.
I'm gonna paraphrase that. Brother, who touched me?
Who touched me?
Who touched me?
Hey, I felt power leave me. Like, who touched me?
I felt something just leave.
Literally. And he said to the woman, your faith made you well, not me. So mind you, this woman had the issue of blood for 12 years. Jesus, all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful Jesus. He should know that she has the issue. Why didn't he go to her house and say, oh, my darling daughter, you are healed? Nah, the woman had to go and grab him up to say, yo, let me just touch the hem of your garment and then I'll be healed. And then, so this is what I'm saying, even from a biblical perspective, nice Christian guys, it's not even actually biblical for you to be a nice guy. Because Jesus himself is like, yo,
yeah,
I'm going this way and you lot are doing this. So it's weird. It's weird, man. It's bare weird, man. It's weird. Like, stop being a nice guy, man. Like, it's weird.
What would you say?
So silly,
what would you say? I know that you told us about the time period in which you got yourself out of that. And you started changing. Yeah. But do you have like any practical?
Yeah, let me give some resource.
Yeah, resources.
Come here. Listen to Uncle Mike. Sit on, and listen to Uncle Mike. Yeah. You need to get this book, and I'm gonna link it in below. Yeah, you need to get this book. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. Yeah, brilliant read. Brilliant read. That? I have, yeah. I listened to Audible. That'd be a good one. Yeah. Can add it to our collection. The Courage to Be Disliked.
For our next book club.
Yeah, and the stories between like a sensei and like a student, and they're going back and forth on, you know, but I'm not supposed to be liked by this. There's also a book on boundaries you need to get. I'll link it as well below, which is really, really good. And what's funny is that I bought the book not knowing that the first story gives various different stories of people who lack boundaries. The first story is a Christian woman who does everything for her family because she's told that she needs to serve, and she's told that she needs to be like this in order for people to love her, to then see the Christ in her and all of that kind of stuff. But she's worn out every night. Her mother-in-law oversteps her boundaries with her. She worn out.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that. Yeah, because she's serving everyone. She's serving everyone.
Yeah. It's giving slave. It's giving slave, boy. It's giving slave at home. She's slaving after everyone. All the manners of slaving. The kids, they this, they that, they this. And she's tired. So she had to put in little boundaries. Do you know what I mean? When I set up on her boundaries. So she set up that boundary. So that's another good book you need to read. Courage to Be Disliked.
Sorry.
You're thinking what she's serving in food and then she's like, what? Getting on her knees afterwards. I was like, you know, I know this boy. I know Afo so well. I know what Afo's thinking in his mind. I know him. But I know him. Most thinking she's like, frustrated with the finger, and then she goes down on her knees. Mate, that's how they'll cancel us and tell us we're doing misogynoir. Mate, they're gonna cancel us, boy.
Oh my gosh,
that is too funny. So they're two something that I would tell you to read, and also you'll get older and you'll realize some of the friends that you've been putting out all of your attention and giving the most to, they're not gonna reciprocate it to you. And when they don't reciprocate it to you, you're gonna get pissed off, and that pissed offness that you feel internally, that's going to be the thing that's going to make you go, you know what? I need to change my ways. I don't want to be a nice guy anymore. I'm going to be nice to myself. The guy who's nice to himself becomes the good guy, I think.
Say that again?
The guy who's nice to himself and chooses to prioritize
chooses
himself,
him first. Yep.
He becomes the good guy that everyone then likes. Don't go and be a rude guy and be the horrible one. Just start being nice to yourself and people will respect that.
I agree.
Yeah. What would you say? What are resources that you'd give?
What resources?
Or advice that you
advice. Okay, what advice would I give? Yo, go to the gym. No, I'm not even like. You learn so much when you go to the gym. When I started going, right, I've been on my journey for a while, right. Various peaks and was it troughs? That's the one. I didn't want to say lows. I'm trying to add up my vocab. You know what I'm saying? Peaks and troughs, right? There's a lot of peaks and troughs. But what I learned, what I was able to gain from being in the gym is that my confidence increased, right? I started to know who I was because my confidence had started to peak, right? Because now I'm aware of who I am. I'm not trying to people please, because when you're, again, as a recovering fat person, right? When you're fat, you want everybody to like you, right? There's two things that happens. You want everybody to like you, but then you also want to remain hidden, right? Yeah. But when you are consistent with your nutrition and your health, right? All of a sudden, the personality that you didn't even know you had starts to emerge slowly but surely. You're never really there. You don't get there straight away, but as the weight continues to drop, things start to change. Even your clothing changes, your style changes. The person that you are starts to reveal itself, right? And so for me, one thing I've learned, be consistent in whatever it is that you're doing. When you're consistent, who you are will emerge. Yeah. When you try and fake it, right? Like even me as a Christian, right? I was talking to Enoch about this a couple of days ago. I would say it was even a couple of days. It was even yesterday. It was yesterday. I would even say that I have become more of a Christian now than I did when I met Enoch and Michael, and that was when we were not even 16. We've known each other since year 7, but like we really became boys at 16. Right? Yeah. I think now is when I'm actually growing into my faith and not back then, because I think I was faking it back then. But I hear it still. I won't even lie. I wasn't faking it, but I weren't.
You weren't like you weren't in it.
I weren't in it. I weren't there.
It was a routine thing.
It was a routine because that's all I knew. That's all I knew growing up. So
you know what? That's why they say like also like the.
So that'd be my advice. Go to the gym, you fatty.
Yeah, go to the gym, you fat. You supple.
You supple.
The
Christmas turkey.
Yeah, man. Stop jiggling. Go.
Stop being jiggly, man.
Let me know.
Oh, they'll call us fat phobic.
Yeah,
I'm still fat. So you can't. I'm being fat phobic to myself then.
I was gonna say I'm fat phobic to myself as well.
You're not. Nah, bro. You left us.
No, I did, but
You left us.
I told you it never dies.
Oh, yeah,
Internally, I'm fat. In here, I'm fat. Yeah, he doesn't die. You just have to look after him and rub his belly. He don't die. But yeah, the other thing I was gonna say is this is why even if you think about Jesus, I know he started ministry at 30. Yeah, there's probably some science to that in terms of you're 30, you're coming into your manhood, you're coming into more like what we said earlier, you're more established in kind of who you are, not necessarily you've got more or you've got less or whatever, but you're more established in who you are, you're more self-assured. That's probably why now you see more value maybe in faith and etc., and you're able to navigate it in better spaces because it's you and God now as opposed to you're constantly being guided by.
It's not. I'm not being guided no more. It's just me and him.
Yeah.
Doing this thing.
Yeah. Nah, real man.
And also for those men that are in that nice guy space, if you identify those traits, it's good to have some friends around you that can hold you accountable as well. If they are aware of the language and that, that negative behavior, go find some friends. Find some friends. It really, really helps, What else would I say? Socialize as well. I feel like as if, and go into spaces in which you're not familiar with, right? And try and interact with people because that will build up your character as well. That's what I'd advise.
Yeah. There's barefoot. I could do a whole other hour on this. Honestly, I really could because there's so many layers, man.
I think we might.
Maybe we might have to revisit this, man. Because I think there's also, and it might be good to maybe get some women on. Because I think there's a nice girl syndrome as well.
Is there?
There's a nice guy syndrome, but I think there's a nice girl syndrome, which is the original Pick-Me's were women, right?
Were they?
Were they not? I thought like the first time I ever came
in
across...
a life, when you think about it, because when you're...
First time I heard Pick-Me was to the Pick-Me, not Pick-Me. it was always like talking about women.
Oh yeah. No, that makes sense. Especially when we live in a world there's male dominated.
Yeah.
Of course they're gonna say pick me.
Right. Pick me.
Otherwise they're gonna be homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine.
So I feel like if we got some girls on, we could probably talk about what have they ever been a pick me or a nice girl? When did that work? How that nice girl to baddie?
Yeah.
You're clocking. Are you clocking it? That nice girl to baddie transition. When you think about it, all the girls that the guys want are baddies.
Yeah.
Not the nice girls.
I know she wasn't. I don't ever know she was a nice girl. Yeah, but she turned into a baddie, boy. I'll tell you off the mic. Okay. She turned into a
good girl.
baddie.
Good girl gone bad, boy.
I'm not gonna lie, beloved.
Is it? Wait. I'm trying to the telepathy.
Off mic. But actually, the telepathy might work. If
she turned into a baddie.
She really turned into a baddie, bro. Like, let's proper deep it.
There's someone that I'm thinking, but I don't think it's that person still.
I'll tell you what it is because who was I talking to? I was talking to our friend, right?
Yeah. The way me and Afro speak in code on this podcast.
I was talking to our friend, yeah. Our friend.
Our
friend kick ball.
No.
Nah, you do our friend.
Our friend.
Delusion.
I
was talking to our friend about this particular girl, and I said I remember her from so and so, and now all of a sudden,
I think I know who. I think I know exactly.
Yes,
is it that person though?
yes,
I think I know who's
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yes.
True.
It's
true.
working.
Yeah. It's working.
It's working. Because obviously, let me not say much. We'll talk off the mic.
Yeah, we'll talk off the mic. But yeah,
Big
maybe
up her,
big up her. She's doing
You're
her
a
thing.
leng.
She's doing her thing. Yeah, that's a bit of you, actually.
It is a bit of me.
Yeah.
We know that's a bit of me.
We've been knowing that.
We've been knowing that.
So what? Anyway, we'll talk about
off
that.
mic.
Cool. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up. We're gonna let's think about some guests for that.
Yeah, we're gonna get some guests.
As always, guys, thank you for listening. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. What do you think about the whole nice guy syndrome? Nice guys finishing last. You know, women, do you like or prefer nice guys? Did you always like nice guys, or do you now like and want nice guys because you're older and time is running out? I'm joking. But yeah, follow us on all our social. Follow us everywhere on social media, and tell a friend to tell a friend, man. That the Point Boys are giving you that good content.
We're in our bag right now, man.
We're doing our thing. We're doing our bag. But So anyway, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Yeah.